What is going on, everyone? Happy Wednesday. I hope all of you are having a great day today. Today is Wednesday, December 13th. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night for many of you, depending on the time they're watching today's live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about possibly the bull run being back. The bull market, bull run, whatever you want to go ahead and call it. It looks like the DXY actually has gotten rejected at the levels that we were actually talking about today. So that kind of gives me a sentiment that the market's already pricing in what we should be expecting today at the FOMC meeting. So I actually will be going live twice. I believe the FOMC meeting starts in about an hour and a half or two. So we're going to go ahead and keep this stream kind of short, and then we're going to go ahead and do literally a stream just dedicated for the FOMC meeting, just because the FOMC meeting is freaking boring, like literally so freaking boring, where we're just going to go ahead and sit there and listen to the kind of BS they have to say. And usually they go for, I think, about an hour if I'm not mistaken. So I want to go ahead and start this stream right now. So any questions or concerns that you have right now, ask to, go ahead and comment down below in the description, or sorry, not in the description, in the live chat. And any tokens you want me to go ahead and do any TA on, right? That's the best way to go ahead and do it, especially right now, due to the fact, as I mentioned, if the FOMC meeting, when we go ahead and record that live, it's going to be very difficult to go ahead and answer questions and all that while we're listening to it. But honestly, it's a freaking boring meeting, but we're going to go ahead and do it, see how it goes. Hopefully it's a lot better. Hopefully we could go ahead and enjoy it all together. But if you're now tuning in, go ahead and smash that like button for me, and hopefully you could go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you are brand new, right? Go ahead and sub. Let me go ahead and double check on my end if we are officially live. Happy, how's it going, Happy? Hope you're having a good one today. It looks like we are officially live. So go ahead and smash that like button for me if you are tuning in. Give me 1 second. I'm checking. Give me 1 second, chat. Mid lady meme coin army in the building. Nice. Bound hack Banga Chong. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Welcome to the channel. Go ahead and smash that like button for me. Vernon says, got it. Thanks so much, John. You're the best. No problem, Vernon. Shout out to Billy, by the way. Billy was the one that made it happen. So if you do see Billy right here in the chat tuning in with us shortly, go ahead and say thank you to him. So it's all due to Billy. So shout out to Billy. Thank you, bro, for helping us out on that. Let's go ahead and join the live stream. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and pull it out right here on my phone. Billy's here. So Vernon, it was actually Billy. So Billy, it was actually Vernon that needed the soul. So I appreciate you, bro. Let's go ahead and get the stream going. Glenn, John, I gotta be honest, you're so bipolar. I know it's engagement, but yesterday your video was that it was gonna dump. Yeah, 100%, bro. It's not so much that it's that I'm bipolar, bro. I think one of the biggest things is obviously it is engagement, but we were seeing some sort of possibility of a reversal. We actually did get rejected, so that's kind of the game we have to play, right? It doesn't mean we can go ahead and reverse and dump back, but I wasn't expecting the DXY. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't expecting the DXY to dump too much. I actually did think we were going to retest it, but as of yesterday, it did look like we were getting rejected. So overall in the video, I did mention that we were more than likely going to go ahead and have a DXY dump, causing the market to pump. But there could have been a probability of literally the DXY reversing and having it done the opposite way, right? I am a content creator, so I have to use clickbait titles, and most of the times, like, I really don't, like, I'm pretty neutral in a lot of my positions, right? Like, for example, like yesterday, I did mention in my opinion, I thought I expected this to happen due to the fact that, last time, as I mentioned or yesterday on the live stream, I mentioned that when the FOMC meeting was actually going on, the DXY actually dumped, right? So yes, my title was clickbait. It was to go ahead and get more people, obviously, to go ahead and watch the content. That's what I have to do, unfortunately, to go ahead and reach more people. But the positive thing is I did give neutral positions, right? I gave you both a positive and negative, and that's what I try to do when it comes to a lot of these videos. I do have to use clickbait here and there to go ahead and get more people to come in. that's kind of that's the way the YouTube the YouTube algorithm kind of works. But I try not to use it too much, right? But this dump doesn't really surprise me too much. Now the biggest things that I am going to be looking forward to is the FOMC meeting. So I will be live streaming actually twice, actually maybe 3 times today, right? Maybe 3 times today live stream, and I'm definitely excited to go ahead and do that. But we are going to be live streaming the FOMC meeting together. What I could go ahead and tell you, there's 2 scenarios right here, right? With the FOMC meeting, the FOMC meeting could go ahead and cause literally the DXY to go ahead and dump all the way down, causing cryptocurrencies to continue to go up, make newer highs. We also have to go ahead and remember we are also getting closer to the RSI on oversold territory, but I do expect the DXY to go ahead and drop back down to 101. That's my opinion. Now, just in case the Fed says something really, really dumb that panics the market or whatever happens, there's a probability that the DXY still could go ahead and reverse and then retest the 105, right? Because usually when we go ahead and see that, depending on what the Fed says, there's still a probability that this thing could go ahead and reverse, right? So I wouldn't be celebrating too much right now, but what I could go ahead and tell you that typically when Wall Street is, usually Wall Street has some insider information when it comes to the markets. So typically if the markets are going to be bearish, the markets should have been bearish already this morning, right? On the stock market, we would have already seen some sort of crash, but it doesn't mean that we can go ahead and have that happen literally the last hour of the market. I think the stock market ends in about an hour, if I'm not mistaken. But as I mentioned, it's still a probability that we could go ahead and hit the 106 and reverse with today's news. I don't think so. As I mentioned, regardless of what happens with the news of today, I think overall the market's going to be super bullish. So we should be taking advantage of a lot of these dips and buying them up, in my opinion. I do believe that the Fed is going to go ahead and start cutting down interest rates in the beginning of next year, which is going to go ahead and pump the market. And what I expect for the Fed to go ahead and do today is to go ahead and keep everything neutral, keep it at where it's at, and then start really cutting down interest rates starting 2024, which is going to freaking pump the markets like crazy. So that overall, I'm bullish with right now. I really don't know, regardless of what the decision is with the Fed, even if the DXY does pump, let's say to the 105 and crypto starts to dump, still buying a dip opportunity, right? I think it's still bullish either way. If crypto does or the DXY does get rejected at the levels that we're at right now and it does touch back down to the 101, your bags are going to be pumping, right? So both scenarios are bullish in my end. We usually have a lot of influencers that call for Bitcoin hitting $10,000. The market's finally here at the top. That's something I try not to use because overall I'm like the most freaking bullish bull right now during this market. But as I mentioned, we are overextended overall in the stock market. We're overextended on Bitcoin. We're overextended on a lot of these altcoins. So regardless of the fact, I'm bullish overall. I would say we need a sort of correction, and that's why I was hoping for the DXY to go ahead and climb up to 106, right? And you're like, John, why are you cheering for a correction? Well, I'm cheering for a correction because if we do go ahead and have the DXY hit the 105, the market begins to go ahead and take a hit. A lot of people are now going to have an opportunity to go ahead and buy in the dips into a lot of these projects, right? A lot of these projects are super freaking overextended, right? It's just a matter of when they dump. And as I always mention, we can't go up forever. If we keep on going up forever, the crash is going to be so freaking hard and it's going to freaking literally wipe out everybody. Like if you thought the Sunday crash that we had and we had over 300 million longs get freaking liquidated, if you think that was bad, wait until we continue to go up and never have any sort of support level being found, right? And that's the only reason why I'm concerned, because if we don't have any reversal anytime soon, what could actually happen is that everybody's going to get super freaking hyped up. Bitcoin could hit $50,000-$60,000 and literally see a 30 to 40% correction, which would definitely scare the market and would just mean that more people will get wrecked. It'll take us longer to get to where we want to overall, right? So that's the only reason why I'm cheering for some sort of what is it called? Some sort of area of support to be found, right? We need to go ahead and get some tokens to start dumping. Altcoins are doing freaking good. I mean, Solana continues to make all-time highs, I'm assuming. I don't even know. I haven't even checked Solana. But yeah, the market overall, it's freaking bullish. So if you're hearing like other influencers talking about, Bitcoin hitting $10,000, Solana is not going to be worth anything, a lot of these tokens are done, it's complete BS, right? I'm super bullish right now. Short term, as I mentioned, I would like to go ahead and see some sort of retracement with a lot of lot of these tokens. I think we are entering some very, very risky territories. But with that being said, I'm long on the market. You should be long in the market right now, buying the dips as much as you can. Right now, I would kind of stay away from leverage trading until 2024, just to go ahead and see where the Bitcoin ETF goes. I think it's going to be the buy the rumor, sell the news event. I think when the ETF, gets announced, they're going to go ahead and dump the market. That's just solely my opinion. I think that's where the correction is going to happen, right? And that's where altcoin season is going to begin. So regardless of what you see in the news that people are spreading, influencers talking about, just focus on the long-term goal. And the long-term goal is that the market is freaking bullish, more bullish than anything. The FOMC meeting, or the Fed's going to go ahead and confirm that today, and then they're going to go ahead and confirm that 2024. And yes, the economy is going to get worse, but crypto is going to continue to go up, and so is the stock market, right? Whether you want to believe it or not, whether you're like the biggest bear asking for a freaking crash, I'm sorry to tell you, there's going to be no freaking crypto crash. Can we have corrections? Yes, 100%. Doesn't mean the market's going to completely crash, right? We could have 30 to 40% dips. It's going to be very, very normal. I will go ahead and say we could be expecting one of the most freaking volatile markets that we've ever had in a bull run, right? So do expect a lot of people to lose money, just like we had with that liquidation grab on Sunday. Do expect many of those, right? And that's the only reason why I mentioned you have to go ahead and be aware, and I have to use clickbait titles to go ahead and get people to click and then be able to see both sides of views, right? I don't give you just one. I don't ever give anybody just my bearish opinion or my bullish opinion. I try to give you both sides. And as I mentioned, I don't know what could happen today. I think honestly, I'm not even going to comment on it. I don't know. I really don't know. As I mentioned, last FOMC meeting, we saw the DXY literally top, and then it started dumping, and then freaking crypto started pumping, right? We could go ahead and have another scenario like that. But regardless of whatever happens today with the FOMC meeting, whether the DXY dumps or the DXY goes up and tests the 105, regardless of that, I'm still bullish long term, and I do think that 2024 is going to be a freaking amazing year for all of us, and we will be making lots of freaking money. So hopefully the clickbait titles don't bother you a lot. Let's go ahead and see. Vernon, what is this project you're talking about? So let's see. Dwayne, how's it going? Dwayne, hope you're having a good one today, bro. Hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're doing good. Dwayne, Pepe 2 finally going up. Yeah, Pepe 2 is actually going back up. It's up a little bit over 30 to 40%, right? So congratulations to all of you. Vernon says, thanks, Billy. Appreciate you, man. Now I can sell. No problem, bro. Billy says, F getting some error while I try to sell. What the? Vernon, I think probably the what is it? The developer probably blocked the cells is what I'm thinking. I'm telling you, I think that's what, because usually when the developer blocks like a smart contract, they'll take your freaking money, like your transaction fees, but you won't be able to get anything in return. And I think that's what might be happening. Happy says, you are the best, John. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Happy. Billy says, clickbait. Vernon says, think the dev might have locked me. Yeah, dude, I do think the dev might have locked you, man. Bullhawk says, you the man, brother. You are the man. I appreciate you a lot, man. Solana I really appreciate you. Vernon, a custom error was return something error message on Jupiter. I can't freaking sell. Yeah, dude, I do think it could be probably that the developer locked it. Glenn says, sorry, John, I love your channel. Just having a laugh at the flip-flop, but it's common amongst creators. Yeah, dude, 100%. As I mentioned, either way, I'm long-term bull in this market. I do see a lot of creators talking about, we reached the top, all this stuff. The reason why I try to use, as I mentioned, stay neutral is because realistically, no one really knows where the market's heading, right? And I do think that it's a huge problem. We're a little too bullish and we're a little too bearish, right? Right now, I'm neutral overall with the sentiment of what's going on right now in this market. Long-term, I believe Bitcoin's going to hit $100,000. You could go back to a lot of my videos since early October when Bitcoin was at $20,000. I was calling for $40,000 and $50,000 Bitcoin, right? So I was the biggest bull when everybody was the biggest bear, and I was the biggest bear when everybody was the biggest bull, right? And I do think right now we should be concerned. We should not be over, what is it, overexcited, if that's even a term, overexcited or overly excited is what I'm trying to say, because right now we are entering very, very risky areas. You know what I mean? The fact that if you got liquidated Sunday, that was not it's obviously something common, but it just tells you the manipulation that's going on, right? So it just gives us signs of warnings to be very, very careful. If I would have listened to those warnings early on since November, because since November I've been talking about, hey chat, be very, very careful longing the market. We could be expecting a lot of volatility. We could go ahead and see a lot of consolidation and massive dumps and pumps in the market, right? And that's exactly what we've been experiencing since November. The market doesn't really want to give anybody the acknowledgement of whether the market's going to go up or down, right? And that's because greed and the fear and greed chart, it's growing, right? Greed is growing literally every day. More people are feeling more bullish than ever. And as I mentioned, when we start to go ahead and enter those super, super greedy territories, that's when we start to have tokens dump like freaking crazy, right? That's when we have the 40, 50, 80% dumps on a lot of the tokens, right? That's when we start having Grok go from over 150 million market cap and then drop literally over 30 million market cap in literally almost a day. So that's the only reason why I like to go ahead and use those titles. As I mentioned, I'll try to go ahead and stay as neutral as possible. So I apologize if it does bother a lot of you. I do want to go ahead and say that. So I'll go ahead and try to do my best to just try to stay a little bit neutral. But you also have to kind of understand that my channel is my goal is to go ahead and grow, right? And unfortunately, many people are not willing to go ahead and click on certain titles or thumbnails if they're not eye-catching. And I believe that information I have to go ahead and provide to every one of you every day, it's really solid, valid information. I think it's really good information to go ahead and keep your mind neutral to a lot of things. As I mentioned, when everybody is super bullish, you want to be bearish. When everybody's super bearish, you want to be bullish. And that's the kind of mentality you want to go ahead and stay in this game. As I mentioned, my strategy these last couple of days, I told you, I wouldn't be touching leverage trading until, the beginning of the year. And that's just because I want to see how the ETF really goes on with Bitcoin. I think it's going to dump. That's just solely my opinion, right? So we're going to go ahead and see. I really don't know. But overall, I am bullish for the year 2024 and 2025, right? So let's go ahead and read some questions right now. Let's see what Vernon posted for us right here. Let's look at this address. Maybe we could go ahead and analyze the smart contract maybe. Let's go ahead and check right here on DEX tools and then put the smart contract SHIB. Okay, yeah, I already have SHIB right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Billy says, just how content be, clickbait is the way. Yeah, unfortunately, clickbait, it's just the way things go, man. It is what it is. It sucks. That's YouTube, right? And YouTube really analyzes how many people click on a video. So if a video does bad than usual, it really does affect the channel, right? So I have to go ahead and kind of keep it as entertaining as possible. Vernon says, switch to radium and I was able to sell. Jesus, had a massive headache with this. Nice, bro. So we love you, John. Thank you, man. Glad you figured that out, Vernon. Getting stuck in a poo coin can be stressful. 100%. Billy says, nah, bro, we going to $30. Glenn says, who in the chat is trading with me? I'm in TRX long. Dude, I've been hearing about TRX for a cool minute. Let's go ahead and take a look at TRX. Is that Tron, right? If I'm not mistaken, TRX is Tron. Dude, Tron has been freaking making, I believe it is Tron, right? This thing has been freaking pumping. I wish I would have caught this thing early on. I mean, congratulations to all of you trading this thing right here. I mean, look at this right here. This is freaking insane. It looks like there's a possible cup and handle pattern could be forming as well, chat. So be on the lookout for that pattern right here. We could go ahead and be having that breakout to the upside. As soon as we break above 11 cents, we could be approaching 20 cents. So do expect that coming very, very soon. So that's looking freaking bullish right now on TRX. Yeah, if you're leverage trading, I would stick to leverage trading higher cap altcoins. Don't leverage trade meme tokens right now. Obviously not financial advice. You can do whatever you want, but I'm just saying just be very, very careful leverage trading a lot of meme tokens right now. I think right now it's really interesting to go ahead and trade the market if you're trading the market with leverage with meme tokens, right? Because of how volatile the market is right now. And if you want to go ahead and put any positions on your trades with leverage, you can go ahead and use MEXC right here down below. We're actually giving all the way up to $20,000 in sign-up bonuses. No KYC, literally takes less than 3 seconds to create an account. I'm actually currently in the talks with other exchanges right now to go ahead and collaborate with. MEXC, I love MEXC because you can leverage trade with meme tokens, but you also have to be very careful, right? With the meme tokens on leverage trading on MEXC. So I would just say the good thing is you could go ahead and do both spot and leverage, but be on the lookout for probably stay away from the meme tokens on the leverage, in my opinion. I think right now a lot of you should go ahead and focus on higher cap altcoins. That's the best way you won't get liquidated too easily. And one of the other best ways, if you do want to go ahead and stay in touch with leverage, would be getting a little bit more risky on a lot of these meme tokens, right? Start buying the dips if you can on a lot of these tokens that we have talked about. I think this is kind of your best bet right now. Leverage trading on a lot of these Solana tokens are also super risky right now that are meme tokens. So I would, if you do want to have that little bit more of that risk on, I would just go ahead and start loading up bags on a lot of these tokens right here with spot. And if you do really want to do leverage, I would go ahead and stick to no more than 5x right now. That's just solely my opinion. As I mentioned, because the market could go ahead and flip literally in 1 second and could literally tank everything and liquidate a lot of you. But RFD, shout out to, who was it? Let me Dwayne actually talked about RFD a while back, and I mentioned how this thing looked like it was going to be reversing, and it actually is, dude. So congratulations to all of you that actually jumped on RFD. I mean, this thing's up over 131%, which is a 1.3x, and I do believe that this thing's going to be going up even higher. I believe the supply was cut, and that's the reason why refund has been coming back up. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Verdon says, let's see. So Verdon says, alongside me getting errors and it draining my Silver fees, I got my blank website on both Jupiter and Radium, despite my internet being fine. I thought I got attacked somehow by the team. Yeah, that's interesting, man. Dad Master, I'm glad you were able to actually get your money out, bro. That's good. Dad Master, good morning, fam. Good morning, bro. Hope you're having a good one today. Verdon says, if Billy wasn't here, I would watch my money drain. Yeah, big thanks to Billy, man. Shout out to Billy. KK, how's it going, KK? What are your thoughts on Baby Grok, dude? It's actually quite funny because I think Glenn and I and a few of us were talking about the baby tokens and how typically they do terrible. And Baby Grok was just a freaking surprise. This thing literally mooned. Shout out to Black Ranger, who actually called out Baby Grok as an alpha early on, literally at 23,000 market cap. And we were just talking about how usually baby tokens are super risky. They usually don't do this well, and this thing has done pretty well. So shout out to everybody that has taken advantage of this pump. Literally, if all of you got in when Black Ranger was talking about it in our stream, he was talking about it around the zone right here. So you definitely made over 30x right here on this token. So that's why right now moving forward as well with with Bitcoin dumping, regardless if Bitcoin does dump, chat, you have to remember, if Bitcoin dumps, altcoins are going to pump and meme tokens are going to pump. So regardless whether Bitcoin does dump or not, which I'm crossing my fingers and that's why I'm waiting for, Bitcoin to go ahead and dump, then all these altcoins and meme tokens are going to pump like crazy, right? So realistically, we would need Bitcoin to go ahead and dump. We don't need Bitcoin to continue to make new higher highs, right? The higher highs crypto does, yes, some altcoins are going to go ahead and follow, but literally, Bitcoin was doing really good last week, and a lot of these altcoins and meme tokens literally fell behind, right? They weren't even following through. So that's kind of the reason why you also have to go ahead and remember, we do need to go ahead and have some sort of dip on Bitcoin in order for that money to start flowing into the riskier assets. But as I mentioned these last couple of days, it does look like a lot of money has been flowing in. So that's why my strategy moving forward next month, depending on how the market moves, my main focus would be going a little bit more higher into the meme tokens. I think looking for the meme tokens would be the best move. Throwing in a couple $100 early on when they're at a very low market cap looks like a lot of people are feeling a little bit more comfortable in a market, and that is one of the best ways to go ahead and be exposed to, I guess, leverage, if we want to call it, without getting fully wrecked and liquidated, right? Glenn says, Dad Master, how did that Rats long go yesterday? It's up big. Yeah, man, how did that Rats go? Dad Master says, I took my leverage winnings and bought 3 D-Rags NFTs. Nice, bro. Glenn, I sold 4 trades in profits yesterday, but it was up 130. I bailed out and bought NFTs. That's nice, bro. I love taking my profits on margin wins and reinvesting. Definitely the smart move. Yeah, that was definitely a freaking smart move, bro. Tron gonna break out. Yeah, 100%. Hey, John and Billy, do you guys want $10 each for Soul for helping me out? Yeah, dude, I'll take 10 Soul. I don't even have a Soul wallet though. I don't have a Soul wallet, so you can send it to Billy, man. Honestly, you can just send the 20 to Billy if you want. Really appreciate it. Dabmaster Bit Farms hit 2.95 today. Damn, man. So the miners are doing pretty well too. I mean, it looks like a lot of these BRC20 tokens are doing really well as well. I mean, we see Turtle right here up 39%. So that's freaking crazy. This definitely does give us a sign that the market's feeling a little bit more bullish, right? Beam continues to make new freaking highs, man. 1 billion market cap. You can't make this thing up, man. You can't make this thing up. Like, look at the pumps that this token has done. And it has a circulating supply of 46.92 billion. So be on the lookout for a lot of more tokens like this. It will be approaching $1. You know, I do think we will be seeing $1 approach on Beam. So shout out to everybody making money on Beam. Now the goal moving forward, as I mentioned, is looking for the next alpha. I think the next alpha, in my opinion, I was talking about this, was Wall Street Memes. I think Wall Street Memes is going to go ahead and pump. I'm going to go ahead and keep my eyes on this. Ideally, I would like to go ahead and see Wall Street Memes go to this price target right here at around 3 cents. And once we do see that breakout there, it's more than likely that this thing is going to go ahead and continue to pump to the upside and see 20 cents in the near future. I did mention that the reason why they were burning a lot of their supply, and that's kind of the reason why a lot of people have been actually buying in. It looks like it actually retested the 2946, got rejected and then dumped back down, right? So this could be another project to be on the lookout for. You know how bearish I was on Wall Street Memes. I tried shorting it and I freaking got wrecked all the time of the manipulation they had. So I stopped shorting it. And you can see how high, Wall Street Memes actually went. It actually went as high as what it tells us right here, 30 cents. And that was because of a lot of shorts shorting this, and the bulls just continued to pump. So I stopped shorting Wall Street Memes, and I did mention that as soon as that was over, I was looking to go ahead and go long the market. And Wall Street Memes seems like a token that it's getting ready to go ahead and go long the market very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to go ahead and see where things go right now. But if you want to trade Wall Street Memes as well, you could actually go ahead and use the platform MEXC. My link is down below, and that's one of the best ways you could go ahead and support the channel right now at the moment. So right now, so far, I would say Wall Street Memes, RFD, you should go ahead and have an eye on. And then anything related to the Solana ecosystem is definitely the move. If you're feeling a little bit more degenerate and believe that Grok is going to go ahead and continue to go back up, I think even with Grok right now, we're at very, very risky territories. We slightly fell below the 618 though. I do want to mention that we slightly fell below the 618. So if we do go ahead and continue to break back above 0.018, I do believe we are going to be making new all-time highs with Grok. And if you are feeling a little bit more degenerate with Grok and want to be a little bit more exposed to the market on Grok with higher leverage, if you want to call it, on the DeFi space, Grok 2.0 could go ahead and be the play. As I mentioned, it's a high risk, high reward. We actually did see it go as high as 2 million market cap. Currently down right now, 429,000 market cap. So it has dropped quite a bit. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I wouldn't throw in no more than $300 into this. I would say that $300 is worth the risk in my opinion. Obviously, this thing could go ahead and completely be done with, but if we do go ahead and see some sort of breakout, you could be expecting a short-term 10x, right? So right now, we're just waiting to go ahead and see what Grok could do. If Grok continues to pump, we could be expecting Grok 2.0 to be approaching over, I think we could easily approach over 10 to 30 million market cap on Grok 2.0, right? So be on the lookout for that. I'm actually quite down on this position right here. I think I'm down like 90% on this position. I literally bought twice. I bought in around right here, and then I bought in right here. So I bought in these two zones right here. So I put in about like $30 right here, turned to 100, and then put another 300 bucks right here. And then literally as soon as I bought it, it freaking dumped. But with this position, as I mentioned, this is more of a hedge with Grok. So if Grok is, as people are making it seem, the hype is still there. If the Grok hype is still there, I do think this is going to be a solid play, right? Because I think this thing is going to do a 30x. This is solely my opinion. This is the only reason why, as soon as I threw my $300, I already mentally, made an L in my head. Like I'm like, whatever, this money is probably gonna be lost, right? It's kind of like if I'm betting all on green on roulette at the casino. So that's kind of the mentality that I went in with this token. So honestly, I'm not really hoping too much out of this. I'm not really expecting too much out of it. If it doesn't pump, it is what it is. I understood that there's a high probability of me losing $300 to $400, which I really don't care about. And if it does pump, well, then I'm going to be really happy because I do believe that it could be doing a 30 to 100x, right? Which could be anywhere between 12 to possibly $30,000. So, risking $400 to possibly make 12 to $30,000, I'm willing to do that, right? And this is a position that I'm just holding on to. As I mentioned, I'm just going to go ahead and watch it do its thing. If it does its thing, cool. If it doesn't, then cool as well, right? So this is kind of like my little moon bag, just in case the market does take off and Grok continues to pump. I would rather have, in my opinion, have a little bit more risk on Grok 2.0, because right here you could put in $400 and make hundreds of thousands of dollars, as compared to Grok. I mean, you won't. I don't think you'll be. I mean, unless this thing hits a billion, then yeah, you could be expecting another additional 10x. But 10x is not going to be too crazy. If Grok does a 10x, I could assume that Grok 2.0 could easily go ahead and do a 30x and above. 100x would be freaking insane, and that's the reason why I'm betting on Grok 2.0. Right? I haven't really talked about it because I don't know. The thing is, these metas change so quick. You know what I mean? One day, freaking everybody's talking about the frogs. One day is a freaking dogs. One day is a freaking groks. It's like, dude, this market's freaking crazy. It's all over the place. People don't know what they want. By the way, go ahead and smash that like button for me. I have over 14 of you currently watching right now, only 9 likes. As I mentioned, that is one of the best ways to go ahead and help support the channel. Glenn says, Phantom Wallet for Solana. Using Solana ecosystem is so nice to use. It makes ETH feel like Windows 9.8. Dude, 100%, bro. Solana is so freaking easy and convenient to use that you're like, dude, why am I using freaking ETH, man? Why am I ETH Moonboy, right? So much better. Vernon says, John, look at Bob. Turned $18 into 95 with it. It took a few months, but it happened. Nice, bro. Nice little trade, man. Money's money. So, the whole goal is to go ahead and just duplicate it from there. I think the easier, once you break past $300 and above, I think once you get to $1,000 on your bags, it's so much easier to make freaking money. Like, so much freaking easier to make money. Bob's at 21 million market cap. That's freaking insane, man. Is this running on ETH? Yeah, this is running on ETH. 0 buy, 0 sell, and it looks like it's doing this massive U pattern like we do see with a lot of these meme tokens, where they have this massive reversal. Look at that thing. We're gonna go ahead and see this thing freaking moon to the moon. So be on the lookout of Bob. I remember you were telling us about Bob, man. So it's pretty nice. Nice little alpha right there. Billy says, when's the meeting? The meeting's at about an hour. Let's go ahead and check. We might just have to do the meeting right now. I was going to go ahead and end the stream and do a second one, but maybe it's live right now. Let's see. Streamed an hour ago. It already went live? No way.
Inflation has eased from its highs.
It was. Because I'm late.
Inflation is still too high. Ongoing
Inflation's high.
Assured, and the path forward is uncertain.
Well, the market has pumping.
I want to assure the American people that we're fully committed to returning inflation to our 2% goal. Restoring price stability is essential to achieve a sustained period of strong labor market conditions that benefit all. Since early last year, the FOMC has significantly tightened the stance of monetary policy. We've raised our policy interest rate by 5.25 percentage points and have continued to reduce our securities holdings at a brisk pace. Our actions have moved our policy rate well into restrictive territory, meaning that tight policy is putting downward pressure on economic activity and inflation, and the full effects of our tightening likely have not yet been felt. Today, we decided to leave our policy interest rate unchanged and to continue to reduce our securities holdings.
told you, I freaking knew they were gonna go ahead and leave they're gonna leave the interest rates the same. As I mentioned, this is freaking crazy. I thought the FOMC meeting was in about an hour. I guess I was incorrect. So yeah, the market's obviously reacting really well. We did actually see, now we're seeing the reversal right now slightly on the DXY right now on the 4-hourly. We're more than likely going to go ahead and get rejected back on the 103 if we do go ahead and touch back to those levels. Yeah, I mean, market's looking pretty good. Market's looking pretty good. So market loved it. Wall Street loved the news. Everything's loving the news. Gold and silver's up. Everything's up. Bitcoin's up, and the DXY is down, right? So it's looking really good. As I mentioned, with the news that we got today, I do expect the new year to be even more bullish. So I'm really, really excited. Let's freaking go. I called BTC back to 44K earlier, already at 43K. Nice. Right now we're at 42,802, so we're gonna go ahead and see where Bitcoin goes back up. We're more than likely probably gonna go ahead and break above 45, and as soon as we break 45, as I mentioned, I think we're gonna go ahead and see $50,000 and above in no time. So definitely be on the lookout for that. As I mentioned, this is kind of the reasons why I don't like to focus too much on the RSIs being overextended, the market's being too overextended, because literally a little bit of news could literally change the whole entire market demeanor, right? And that's actually what we're seeing right now with the whole entire markets. The markets are loving it. Yeah, DXY is dumping, man. DXY is freaking dumping. That's usually what happens, as I mentioned. That's what happened, last FOMC meeting. We literally had, the dollar crash. It's crashing down, and then literally just did a quick reversal where it just freaking went back up like the next week. So just be on the lookout for that. So don't be too excited, overly excited with what we're seeing in the market. But overall, it does seem really bullish, and it looks like we're gonna go ahead and start or finish the year very, very strong. So that's good news, right?
Given how far we have come, along with the uncertainties and risks that we face, the committee is proceeding carefully. We will make decisions about the extent of any additional policy firming and how long policy will remain restrictive based on the totality of the incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. I will have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that growth in economic activity
Coinbase just hit 52-week high.
Pace seen in the third quarter. Even so, GDP is on track to expand around 2.5% for the year as a whole, bolstered by strong consumer demand as well as improving supply conditions. After picking somewhat over the summer, activity in the housing sector has flattened out and remains well below the levels of a year ago, largely reflecting higher mortgage rates.
Hey, what's up, Brian? How's it going, my guy? Well, you didn't really miss too much, man. I was just talking overall about what I expect and I see in the market. Didn't even know the FOMC meeting was literally right now. I thought it was in about an hour, which is what I was actually going to stream. But what I was waiting for is to go ahead and see if the DXY was going to go ahead and pump during the FOMC meeting or dump. And I mentioned that back prior in the last FOMC meeting that I streamed back in June or July, we actually had the FOMC meeting right here dump, which actually caused the crypto market to pump, right? So I mentioned that if the DXY does continue to dump back down to 101 and below, we will be seeing Bitcoin approaching levels of 45,000. I believe as soon as we break $45,000, we're going to go ahead and see $50,000 and above. So I think, in my opinion, $45,000 is a psychological area. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But I think Bitcoin at $45,000 is a huge psychological area and barrier. So if we do break above that $45,000, chat, we can literally see $60,000 to $80,000 in no time. In no freaking time, the market could be pumping like freaking crazy. So we are approaching those zones, and we're not that far away. Some people say it's 45, some people say it's 48. I say 45. If we break through 45 like nothing, we're going on, and we're going to see $100,000 Bitcoin by the end of next year, which is 2024. I think around December we could be seeing $100,000 plus Bitcoin. So in the short term, I believe we could even see $60,000 in the short term. So freaking bullish news, right? So a lot of people are still going to be in disbelief, and if we actually zoom out on the daily, it does kind of seem like we did talk about this massive cup and handle pattern right here actually forming literally back in March. I was talking about this massive cup and handle pattern forming back around, sorry, not March, around June. Around June, this is when I was talking about this cup and handle pattern actually forming. And, it took a little bit while. It ended up doing some cup and handle with a rejection, when usually sometimes happens with a fake out W pattern, and then had a massive breakout. So I've been bullish about Bitcoin since literally around here, and I've been super bullish on Bitcoin around here, talking about some sort of short squeeze going to the upside, while everybody was calling for a dump to $10,000 Bitcoin. So overall, I do believe that if we do go ahead and break towards the $45,000 and we do begin to rally back up, let's say for example $60,000, as soon as we break $45,000, Bitcoin's gonna climb so much freaking quicker. Trust me, it's gonna climb so freaking fast that people are not going to be expecting it, right? And then I do believe obviously some sort of correction will be found, whether that's going to be at $42,000 or $39,000. We could be expecting after whatever top we reach, whether 60,000 or whatever the case is. Let's just say 60,000. We could be seeing, Bitcoin dump back down to 42,000, 30% dump. I believe it's going to happen. A 30 to 40% dump, and then we're going to go ahead and test newer highs again. I mean, if you go all the way back from over here, we did go ahead and see Bitcoin right here back in 2020 when we began to have the bull run on Bitcoin. We actually saw Bitcoin hit $35,000 in the beginning of January, right? So in 2021, we saw Bitcoin hit $35,000, and from $35,000, you actually saw it retrace all the way down to 30%, right? After we had that 30% dump on Bitcoin, which 30% is a lot, man. 30% is freaking a lot on Bitcoin. Then we freaking saw it pump back up 119%, right? Or 116. So it literally doubled after it had a 30% dump. And that's what I believe we need with Bitcoin. As you could really see, we haven't had any 30% dumps, I think. Let me see. Let me measure this from here to here. Yeah, we haven't. 9% dump. We haven't had a freaking 30% dump ever since back in October. We've been pumping since October. We've literally pumped on Bitcoin. We had not had any major retracement, right? And there's a reason why I've been saying, same thing with altcoins. We need a 30 to 40% retracement in order for us to go ahead and continue to make newer highs, right? Right now, with this market, I believe Bitcoin's going to go ahead and hit probably $60,000 and above, in the next couple months. And then we're going to have a retracement down to 30%, whether that's going to be at $80,000 and it's going to retrace 30%, or it's going to be at $60 and it's going to retrace 30%. But we're going based off what we saw, last previous cycle when we were pumping up like crazy, and then we retraced with the 30%. And as I mentioned, obviously history doesn't have to repeat itself, but typically it usually does, right? And one other thing too I want to mention is that in order for Bitcoin to continue to go up higher, we need to go ahead and have a retracement for more buyers and more investors to jump in. So this is like the most healthiest thing you can see. So don't be surprised if we see $45,000 Bitcoin, and then within like literally less than 3 weeks, we're going to see 60,000, and everybody and their mom's going to be buying Bitcoin at the top. And then we're going to have that 30% dump correction, which could be leading towards the ETF, right? Maybe Bitcoin hits $60,000, ETF gets released, it dumps 30%, people panic, market's done, people buy the dip, and then it's going to pump back up, and then we're going to be seeing a big freaking massive effect to $100,000 Bitcoin. So I do believe $100,000 Bitcoin could be coming in towards the end of 2024. So a lot of money to be made. So really, really freaking excited. If you are brand new to crypto, welcome, congratulations. You're going to be entering the biggest freaking emotional roller coaster of your life. And smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and most importantly, I do want to go ahead and say you're entering at a freaking perfect time of the market to go ahead and make lots and lots of freaking money. So really good. How's it going, PT Tim? I haven't seen you in a while, man. What's good? Congrats on the channel monetization. Awesome work, yo. Hey, good to see you, Tim. Haven't seen you, long time no see, bro. Thank you very much. Wouldn't be able to get monetized with any of your help, so I really do appreciate all of you. Let's go ahead and listen to what the Fed has to say. Not that it matters, because we already got the information.
In our summary of economic projections, committee participants revised up their assessments of GDP growth this year, but expect growth to cool, with the median projection falling to 1.4% next year. The labor market remains tight, but supply and demand conditions continue to come into better balance. Over the past 3 months, payroll job gains averaged 204,000 jobs per month, a strong pace that is nevertheless below that seen earlier in the year. The unemployment rate remains low at 3.7%, Strong job creation has been accompanied by an increase in the supply of workers. The labor force participation rate has moved up since last year, particularly for individuals aged 25 to 54 years, and immigration has returned to pre-pandemic levels. Nominal wage growth appears to be easing, and job vacancies have declined. Although the jobs to workers gap has narrowed, labor demand still exceeds the supply of available workers. FOMC participants expect the rebalancing in the labor market to continue, easing upward pressures on inflation. The median unemployment rate projection in the SEP rises somewhat from 3.8% at the end of this year to 4.1% at the end of next year. Inflation has eased over the past year, but remains above our longer-run goal of 2%. Based on the Consumer Price Index and other data, we estimate that total PCE prices rose 2.6% over the 12 months ending in November, and that excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 3.1%. The lower inflation readings over the past several months are
100% freaking emotional roller coaster, 100%.
Build confidence that inflation is moving down sustainably toward our goal. Longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households, businesses, and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets. As is evident from the SEP, we anticipate that the process of getting inflation all the way to 2% will take some time. The median projection in the SEP is 2.8% this year, falls to 2.4% next year, and reaches 2% in 2026. The Fed's monetary policy actions are guided by our mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. My colleagues and I are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship as it erodes purchasing power, especially for those least able to meet the higher costs of essentials like food, housing.
So we're not going to go ahead and sit here and listen to the whole entire FOMC meeting because it's freaking boring, honestly. And we already got pretty much everything that we needed. Bitcoin's doing its thing. The DXY is dumping like we somewhat expected it to go ahead and do, right? So far the market did already price in all the action with the news. So the news are actually good. So we really don't have to go ahead and sit there and listen to it. We talked about this literally the same thing last FOMC meeting. I told you what the Fed was going to do. I told you their goal was to go ahead and squeeze the people as much as they can, literally get them to the point where they can literally not afford anything. Then they're going to go ahead and pause it, and then they're going to go ahead and start cutting down rates and pumping the market to go ahead and pump more easy money into the market. So the whole entire goal that they have going on here with the Fed that a lot of people don't understand is that the reason why they would go ahead and cut down interest rates is in order for them to go ahead and buy out all this debt, right? So what the Fed's going to go ahead and do is their goal is to go ahead and own everything, right? So they're going to go ahead and get it to the point where people can't afford things in order for them to go ahead and get the items back, right? Like let's say for example, houses, cars, all of that thing. They go ahead and buy out the debt, and now they own the debt, right? So now they have new debt to go ahead and throw out into the system. So it's like literally this whole entire Ponzi scheme that they're all in to go ahead and move the markets, right? So it's not really for your best interest, just a heads up. It's literally for their best interest of them. So overall, as I mentioned, we could go ahead and be seeing some sort of decline in numbers and all this. I do believe that higher unemployment will go ahead and continue with a lot of these jobs and careers. So I would go ahead and say don't expect that the market's going to go ahead and be fully perfect. I think overall, as I mentioned, the economy is going to continue to get worse in the next 2024 to 2025. But we are seeing a decline with all the prices that we had back with the pandemic, right? We're seeing cars dump down literally 30% from their all-time high, from above their MSRP that they were selling. We're seeing luxury goods coming down as well because people don't have money to buy luxury goods right now. Now we're also having housing right now that people are not looking to go ahead and get into housing either. So they're slowly cutting it down, but I think they got to the point where a lot of people already got affected that them making this change is not really going to help out a lot of people, right? Because a lot of people are going to go ahead and get also replaced by AI. So if you are in a position in your career right now, or a company, or whatever the case is, business, just go ahead and adopt to what we're seeing in the changes overall. I think the more you could go ahead and adopt to the to what's going on in the world, the easier it is going to be for you to go ahead and do a career switch, whatever the case is. So just be on the back end with that. But overall, yeah, we could go ahead and be seeing a lot, I think in my opinion, higher unemployment and all that. So as I mentioned, I really don't care what the Fed says. Really what our main focus should be is the DXY. As long as we see how the DXY is moving, what they're doing with the debt that they're issuing and moving, and how the stock market's moving, regardless of all the bad news that we hear, that's how we know what the Fed's doing, right? It's for their best interest. It's not for you and I. All we have to do is follow the big whales, right? So that's why for me personally, all I look at is the DXY. DXY, stock market, eventually the DXY and Bitcoin are going to go ahead and deleverage themselves. And that's when we're going to have the freaking biggest bull run in history, right? When Bitcoin is no longer attached to the freaking US dollar. Like, who wants Bitcoin to be attached to the US dollar? I know I don't, right? And the problem right now that we have is that people say Bitcoin's a hedge against inflation. It's total BS. You know, Bitcoin is not a hedge against inflation. Inflation continues to go up so high that it just can't keep up with inflation. So until we get to the point where, you know, Bitcoin no longer is attached to the US stock market, then that's when, you know, Bitcoin's really going to go ahead and do its thing. And I believe that's when you know, globally, a lot of these countries are going to be depegging themselves from the US dollar, right? Because I know a lot of these countries no longer want to be part of the US dollar either. And that's when, you know, we're going to see a real economical collapse globally. And that's when cryptocurrencies are going to be going on like crazy. And this is the reason why they're issuing these ETFs. That's why they're having a lot of these investments company coming in, because they know that the dollar is at very bad critical areas, right? Very bad critical level. So in order for the US to start issuing a new digital currency, in my opinion, we need to go ahead and see the dollar collapse, and then that's when they're going to go ahead and issue in their new system. So not because, you know, we're all going to be making money these next couple of years, these next couple of months, doesn't mean that the economy globally is going to be getting better, right? Globally it's going to get worse, but for people like you and I that are in this market investing and understand how you know, economics move, we're going to be making a boatload of freaking money, right? But just be aware of what's going to be going on globally, worldwide. It's not going to look too good, but crypto's going to be looking good, right? So it's pretty good news in my opinion. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. As I mentioned, I think right now should be the best time to go ahead and start stacking up on cash. Start stacking up on buying the dips on a lot of these tokens. And the whole goal is, if you're not in a position where you could go ahead and literally just like leave everything because you have so much money, then we should all go ahead and make that our goal, right? Because as I mentioned, when we do see the dollar collapse, it's going to look freaking ugly. And there's going to be a lot of freaking panic in the streets, a lot of people going crazy, and a lot of people are not going to be expecting it, right? But you and I are, because I'm telling you right now, this is the reason why you want to go ahead and stay neutral, right? We have good news. The market's going to be good. We're going to make a lot of money, but also be aware of what's going on globally and how things are going to go ahead and come down. And it's all to go ahead and issue in a new system. What do you think, Glenn says? What do you think of this AVAX meme coin? Let's go ahead and take a look. Billy says, might put a long on AVAX. Yeah, AVAX is going to be the play, chat. AVAX is going to be the play moving forward. And that's what you should go ahead and focus on. Let's see, AVAX is 6 days, 28 freaking million market cap, man. That's freaking insane. That's freaking insane. It's insane how these tokens pump so crazy. Let's see. It has a kind of crazy supply. I haven't seen that in a while with these tokens, but it has a crazy market cap, you know, 29 million, let's just say 29 million market cap with 1.28 million of liquidity, over 12,000 freaking holders, is looking freaking solid. Cocky in you, bro. You can't make this thing up. So now I guess the next hot thing is going to be the Cox. Let's see, 15-minute chart. Honestly, I just don't know. On a T8 standpoint, I don't know. honestly. On the TA standpoint, I don't know. I would just keep it very simple. If we do go ahead and see it, break above on the hourly on the 4.8, what is it, the 4.143, we could go ahead and break above this, then this thing's gonna go ahead and go up even higher and make new highs. If it does go ahead and get rejected back at the 4.1, we are gonna go ahead and come back down, retest down to the 2.1216, and then we're gonna go ahead and dump back down. So overall, I think it's bullish. As I mentioned, I think being exposed to AVAX or meme tokens on Solana is definitely worth the play. Vernon says, SS ship is a slow rug pull. Glad I got out near the top. Nice, man. Glad I didn't jump in because I was actually talking about this one. But this is kind of the problem that we have with a lot of these tokens is the no liquidity is the no liquidity locked is something that's super sketchy in my opinion. Johnny says, what do you think about midget USDT? Never heard of it, man. Vernon, it's dumping hard now. Yeah, it is. Mohammed, how's it going, my guy? Shout out to Mo. Hope you're having a good one, bro. Pepe 2. Let's go ahead and do some quick TA on Pepe 2. And then we're gonna go ahead and end the stream. We're about to hit an hour on the stream. I thought we were gonna go ahead and live stream twice today for the FOMC meeting, but it looks like we're not. So Pepe 2 is actually looking pretty good, surprisingly. Let's go ahead and pull out the charts on Pepe 2 right now. This thing pisses me off so much, bro, because I literally got liquidated on Pepe 2, bro. You can't make this thing up, bro. You just can't with this freaking manipulation in the market. So what I could just go ahead and break it down to the most freaking bullish scenario ever is Pepe 2 is looking really good, man. Pepe 2 is looking really good. If we do go ahead and break above 5351, we are more than likely going to go ahead and do that 10x that I was freaking longing for, which I'm no longer going to be part of. If we do go ahead and get rejected at around the 5.2 to 5.3, we could go ahead and expect Pepe 2.0 to come back down and retest all the way down to this level right here. So if we do go ahead and get rejected at the 5.351, we could go ahead and be expecting about a 90% crash, which I kind of doubt that would happen. The RSI is looking pretty good. We did lose this major area of support, but that was because of the flash crash manipulation that we just had on Sunday, with the dip being actually bought out very quickly. So we could be expecting, if we break above the 5.3 zone, we could be expecting Pepe do a 10 to 20x on this pump right here. The only thing that I'm very concerned on Pepe 2 that I want all of you to just be careful with is liquidity is being unlocked in about 7 days, which is about 6%. I think it might be around the trillions. I don't know what the amount is. But just be on the lookout for that. I don't know how much that is. You can go ahead and check right here on the liquidity side and then actually see how much it's locked and for how many days. And it is locked for 7 days. So that'd be my only red flag for Pepe 2. But TA side, it's looking really good. Glenn says, just wanted to say, Cock Inu, to be honest, it looks decent to me. Yeah, Cock Inu looks pretty good, bro. I don't think that that's like the best way to word both of those freaking terms together, but yeah, Cock Inu seems like a good play. As I mentioned, we're having a lot of insane volume with AVAX pumping. I'm assuming AVAX is probably pumping, and if AVAX is pumping, a lot of these tokens are kind of derivatives to them, right? So they usually go ahead and take off as well. So let's go ahead and see AVAX. Yeah, AVAX is pumping right now. It's up 7% for the day, so that makes sense why Cock Inu is pumping as well. And it actually does look on AVAX, and on the 15-minute chart it looks like a cup and handle. So we could be expecting AVAX in the next couple weeks reach around $55, which if you measure it from the top to that bottom, it's about a 35% pump, which would mean that any token related to AVAX on the blockchain like Cock Inu or WVAXX, or what other token is Wolf is up 358%, man. So shout out to Tillery for this one. He called it out around this zone right here. So ever since he called it out, this thing has literally freaking over 3x, man. Over 3x. So there's people believing in these memes even more, right? So right now this is risk on the market, and this is where you want to be putting your money in, not financial advice, is onto these meme tokens. Throw your money into these meme tokens, and try not to play too much with leverage on the meme tokens, in my opinion. Hold on to spot, or if you do leverage, you use less than 5x. And if you want to go ahead and do that, go ahead and make sure to use my link down below. No KYC, $20,000 in sign-up bonuses. We are actually looking to go ahead and partner up with new exchanges right now. So a lot of big changes to the channel. And yeah, overall, market's looking pretty good. Can you check out Algo? 100%. Let's go ahead and check it out. Yeah, Pepe 2 did dump last time. PT Tim says, check out BlockX. It's an AI trading platform launching on the 17th. Can you go ahead and put on the smart contract, or how do I check out BlockX? PT Tim, can you check out Algo? Yeah, 100%. Same dev as the meme coin XRP. Mohammed says, keep up the good work, bro. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And thank you for tuning into the channel today. So if you are brand new, smash that like button, subscribe. I do see that we have a little bit over 19 viewers right now on chat. So go ahead and smash that like button for me. 16 likes right now. So go ahead and get us to 19 likes, please. It really does help support the channel a lot. How can we go ahead and check out that token, PT Tim? We definitely want some alpha, because you know a lot of alpha has been going on with a lot of projects. So let's go ahead and take a look at Algo right now, and let's do some quick TA on this. Let's see what we see. Anything that kind of comes to mind that looks kind of bullish. I mean, you know, just to keep it very, very simple, we always have these cup and handle patterns that a lot of these tokens are forming, you know. So so the thing is with a lot of these patterns, sometimes they go ahead and follow through, sometimes they don't. But what I do want to go ahead and mention, there's two things right here that I'm looking at, right? We're seeing the RSI is overextended, right? So that means that there is a lot of interest of a lot of people wanting to buy this token, right? Typically, we see when the RSI does extend to these levels, we usually go ahead and see it follow with a dump, right? And then the same thing goes back with the RSI coming down on the oversold territory. So right now, based on this, I don't like to go ahead and indicate any kind of trade based on a freaking indicator. But what I could go ahead and also tell you is that it does look like we have been kind of struggling at this area of support or resistance, sorry, at the 22 cents. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do go ahead and see a breakout, honestly, and try to retest the 23. Probably try to come back down, find some area of support, and then literally break the second time. That's usually what we tend to see, what the market tends to do. Or usually sometimes it pumps back up, gets rejected, and then it dumps back down, and then it breaks out with a massive pump, right? So if you do want to go ahead and enter this breakout to the upside, I would go ahead and wait for confirmation. This is, you know, a weak high. We have seen it try to break it multiple times, and it continues to get rejected. Doesn't mean it can't go ahead and break through it. I'm just telling you, well, there could be a possibility that it won't break through it, right? That's just because of the RSI being overextended right now at the moment. But as I mentioned, you do not want to rely your trade on an RSI, right? Depending on how the market's moving, we could go ahead and actually see a breakout to the 23. But ideally, I would say we could go ahead and see a touch 22, come back down, probably consolidate, or probably try to retest it one last time, and then it's going to go ahead and have a final breakout. So usually when you want to go ahead and trade breakout patterns, from what I've learned, usually it's not the best to go ahead and trade them if it hasn't been confirmed. Obviously, you make more money if you go ahead and you're able to catch it right here. But for example, with Pepe 2, we had a similar pattern where, you know, I saw a cup and handle pattern. It actually got rejected. It was going to go ahead and pump, and it actually had the breakout down to the bottom. So it actually was a fake out, right? And you could actually lose a lot of money that way. So moving forward, when I'm looking at patterns and identify patterns early on happening, I would say the best option to go ahead and minimize your risk is to go ahead and wait for it to break out, right? You're like, hey John, what would be the breakout area to enter a trade? Well, a breakout area would be seeing a break above 22 cents. So as soon as you go ahead and see a break above 22 cents, this thing's more than likely going to be approaching 45 cents and above on the long term, right? If you do zoom out, Algo actually does go as high as freaking, and how much does it go up to? All the way up to $2, right? So with the short-term swing trade, if you do go ahead and capture it and enter the breakout at the 22 or 23, you can still go ahead and make nice little gains, right? It's about a 1x right there, about 90%. And if you're using leverage, that would make you a nice little freaking bag. Fabeeks, how's it going, Fabeeks? Hope you're having a good one today, bro. I was looking AM chart, a huge double bottom for all-time high. What is M? Can you go ahead and tell us what M is? What's M for? What ticker symbol M? Is it mint? Mint layer? I've been hearing about mint. Let me know down below if this is the token you're talking about. And by the way, welcome to the channel, man. I have never seen you before, so go ahead and smash that like button for me. Subscribe. We have over 24 watchers right now, only about 18 likes. So go ahead and smash that like button for me. It's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything, right? Month. Okay, the month is what you're talking about, right? I thought you're talking about the token. Let's go ahead and check out the month on Algo. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let's go ahead and see the month. The month's looking friggin' bullish, man. The month is looking friggin' bullish too. It does look like also another cup and handle pattern, so still looking friggin' bullish. So I feel like a lot of these altcoins are going to be having this kind of breakout too. I thought you were talking about, it's because like when I thought M, I thought of Macy's, because Macy's is the M ticker symbol, but I'm like, I doubt he's really talking about Macy's. Like, there's no way he's talking about Macy's. Glenn just gave us some alpha. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one right here. Good entry. Tokens literally call it good entries. This is running on the BRC20 blockchain. Oh no, it's running on ETH. Buy and sell tax unknown. Interesting. Dude, 9 million freaking market cap. This is freaking insane, dude. Where do all of you freaking find these tokens, man? Like, I want to be on these tokens before they freaking pump. Make every entry good entry. What is this? Enter app. So it's a DeFi decentralized exchange, I'm assuming. Okay, so it's pretty much leverage trading. It's pretty cool. I would say, just because I know that, usually typically tokens with that are like that, or anything related to DeFi, when the market begins to pick up, usually they do really well. I mean, currently right now at 9.21 million market cap, liquidity 910,000, 2.28 thousand holders, supply is at 205 million. So realistically, this token could go ahead and hit $1, right? So I'm bullish on this. TA looks, I really can do TA on this. I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's see. I mean, you could say this is a bull flag pattern if you want, but it is consolidating. Is actually going up. It's making higher highs, so we could go ahead and say that this could be breaking out very soon and pop off and reach 10 cents. So be on the lookout for that. That'd be what, double position, about a 1x. Could be a nice little play right there. How's Ming doing? MMG doing, bro? Let's see. MMG is about 9.3% down. Meta mini games. Right now at 187,000 market cap with 34,000 liquidity. I did mention the liquidity is a little low. Liquidity is only locked for about 18 days, but this could be a play to throw in a couple dollars on here. I apologize for that. Supply is at 100 million, so this is another little play that Ryan has been telling us about. But Beak says like a 17x at all-time high. Yeah, 100%, bro. Yeah, long term. See, the thing is, I like looking at long term, but I don't like focusing on long term too much when it comes to a lot of these tokens, because realistically, we don't know. And sometimes, if you're trading these as leverage, which I know a lot of you that watch his live stream leverage trade, a lot of you want to go ahead and know those short term pumps, right? So like 100% pump on leverage is a lot of freaking money if you're using 10x, 20x, 30x, which a lot of you use, right? So that's why when I talk about the price targets with a lot of these tokens, I only like to talk about the short-term potential, and then I like to go ahead and talk about the long-term potential, right? I think that's the best way to go ahead and have the mentality, to have a staircase way mentality, right? Because if you always want to shoot huge for the stars, you're going to get disappointed if your project doesn't do what it's supposed to do, right? And if you don't have price levels that you're looking at, let's say, for example, you think a token's going to do a 17x, and instead of a 17x, it does a 3x. If you're focusing on that 17x, you're going to go ahead and get blindsided, and you're not going to go ahead and exit your trade if you have to, right? But if you see a break through those barriers, and you see that the barriers are certain areas of resistance, once it breaks through those areas of resistance, there's staircases to go ahead and look out for, right? You never want to go ahead and have the mentality, in my opinion, to go straight up, 1000x, right? You want to go ahead and keep it very simple, and you want to focus on like literally the staircase effect. Same thing with Pepe 2.0, right? Pepe 2.0 could do a 30 to 100x, right? But ideally, I first want to see them break 40 million market cap. And once we see Pepe 2 break 40 million market cap, then we could talk about a 1 billion market cap. So I like to go ahead and go through levels. So when I talk about a lot of these tokens, unless I know there's a possibility that this token could go ahead and reach those levels, usually if there's like tokens with higher cap altcoins, I like to go ahead and focus a little bit more on the short-term trades, because that's one, 100%. A 1x, a 2x, a 3x is a lot of money for us if you're trading on MEXC, right? So, and that's kind of the reason why I have the short-term breakouts, because I try to give people the breakout opportunities of entering a token with a move into upside. If you're leverage trading with 10x, a 1x is a lot of money for us. Might not be a lot of money for a lot of people on DeFi, but on leverage, if you're using MEXC or any other exchange, that's a lot of freaking money. And that's why I like to give out those short-term breakouts. Isaac, how's it going, Isaac? Hey, bro, how many Pepe 2.0 do you own? I'm bullish on it, and I want to add more to my position. I don't own any more Pepe 2, bro. I actually got liquidated on Sunday, so I lost all my Pepe 2 on that liquidity grab that we got. Terry, how's it going, Terry? What's up? What do you think about Wiki Cats? Hope you're doing well today, Terry. Long time no see. Pepe 2.0 dumping. BTC is above 43k. Snake is pumping. And bro, Bonk going nutty. Yeah, Bonk's always going nutty, man. Oh, that must be why Snake is moving. Yeah, dude. If Bonk takes off, yeah, dude. Freaking bumps, freaking up 19%. That's insane. Let's go ahead and see what Terry gave us right now. Copy. We're gonna go ahead and paste this right here. 34%. I mean, WikiCat's freaking insane too, man. Over 13.25 million market cap. It's freaking insane. So I guess people do love the cat tokens. Same thing right here. Very, very simple. I mean, cup and handle pattern. I believe you told us about this token a while back, and it looks like it's having or had that breakout right now. So freaking bullish for WikiCat. So shout out to anybody that entered that play. 47,000 holders, over $423,000 of freaking volume. So WikiCat's looking actually pretty good too. Pretty good play. It is on Binance. I did mention a lot of these Binance tokens, Solana tokens, and tokens on AVAX will be pumping like freaking crazy. Yeah, but anyways, chat, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. I really do appreciate all of you being here today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we are actually getting closer to entering, altcoin season. We're at 55 today. We need to reach 75 in order to go ahead and get closer to altcoin season. So definitely be on the lookout for that. As always, make sure to go ahead and turn on post notifications on my channel. And most importantly, go ahead and use my MEXC link down below. $20,000 in sign-up bonuses. No KYC, takes less than 3 seconds to create an account. And I do want to go ahead and say thank you all for being on today's live stream, and I will be streaming later on.